Happy Monday, everyone. Thank you so much for all the congrats on my show that I did. So for those of you that chimed in and gave me some congrats, thank you so much. I'm Diane Flores. For those of you that are like, who is this freakishly tan person in my news feed right now? If we are friends, thank you for being my friend on Facebook. But today I am doing something a little bit different. This is going to be episode number 1 of GTV, Goddess TV. So I'm going to be interviewing some of our amazing clients at the studio, our goddesses, because much like them, I am inspired by their stories, and that is what keeps me on fire every single day to do what I do, to be passionate about fitness and health and wellness, because they inspire me every day to live my best life so I can then spread the word and spread the message. So I'm very, very excited. Today we are going to attempt this show, so bear with me. I'm going to be Krista in. So I think there she is. Hello, Krista.
Hi.
We're doing the damn thing.
Ooh,
All right, I can see
are.
you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. And there,
Okay.
I'm a little bit brighter now too.
There you are. Okay, now I can see your pretty face. All right, so I was just telling everybody how we are starting. This is going to be the first episode of GTV. So welcome.
Woo-hoo.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're stoked for that. So you guys, this is Krista Panigiris. Am I saying that correct?
You know what? I've heard it wrong so many times that I don't even know how to say it anymore. Panigiri.
Panigiri. Oh my gosh, I've been
Yes.
saying it wrong the whole time. I swear. Sorry for that. I'm so sorry. Okay, so Krista, so we are just gonna have some chit chat and kind of go over like how you started with Venus and kind of your story there, and just sharing anything that will help anyone else, not necessarily that wants to come to Venus, but just in general, sort of kickstart their health or wellness and really start taking care of themselves.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
tell us about Krista Panigiris.
I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and hope this doesn't cut out, but I'm a fur mom. I have 2 fur babies, and I work 2 jobs. One of them is I'm an integration coordinator for a company, and we provide cloud-based software to medical providers. Very sedentary job, just sitting around a lot. And then I'm a consultant with Pure Romance.
That's fun. That's a new adventure for you. We're super stoked about that.
It is, yes.
So side note, if y'all need some of that
body oil, the super awesome shaving cream that helps us not be embarrassed about our monkey legs.
Exactly. I love that stuff. It's actually pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so tell us, so you're a fur mom. You do not have fur. We can see that. So that's great. And you, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 32.
32. And so tell us about life before you kind of stumbled upon this crazy world at Venus.
The crazy, amazing world at Venus. Life before was not very much. Most of my activity was nothing. I work and then maybe bowl once a week, but there's nothing really going on there. And just eating pretty much whatever is in the house, and yeah.
So you've been, how long have you been coming to Venus now? So it's probably been about 5 months, 6 months?
Yeah, I started, it's about that. I started at the end of March for a Fierce AF round. So I started right in there. I'm trying to like center this. I'm not very good at holding the TV thing. So I've been going since Fierce AF. The round that I did was the 6-week long, and it was really great. And I've kind of been there nonstop since then. So it's been awesome. It's a great experience.
In terms of, how would you say like your exercise, what were you doing prior to that in terms of like fitness, nutrition? Were you just kind of like waiting for the right moment?
Before that, I wasn't really doing anything. Mostly I just used my Fitness Pal and kept track of my calories that I was eating. And I could go on and on. I wasn't managing what I was doing well. I wasn't really exercising. I didn't have the knowledge to kind of get myself the knowledge or the support really to get myself to a gym and work out. So most of it's just working and then sitting around and Netflixing, and that
Netflix
was it. Yes.
trouble.
Yes, it is. It is.
So you'd say, like, what was your biggest struggle before? Were you just like did gyms intimidate you, or were you just kind of like, doing my own thing? Like your biggest pain points that were confusing in terms of exercise and nutrition?
Lack of knowledge, definitely. I didn't know the right foods to eat to give myself the energy that I needed to go and work out at a gym, or the knowledge of how to use the gym equipment once I actually got there. I mean, if I
Mhm.
went on my own, I'd just hop on every machine for like one rep and think that I got enough in.
Yeah, yeah,
That was it for me.
that's totally normal. I think that's most women, right? We join a gym, we walk in, we're like, okay, that over there is really scary. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So
Exactly.
just push some buttons on the treadmill and figure that shit out. I'm just gonna hop on and like call it
Exactly.
good, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I love most about Venus is I don't have to have that knowledge. I do now, but you go and everything's done for you. You just do what your coach tells you and boom.
hmm hmm So my favorite question that I've been wanting to ask women is, because we all have them, right? I'm no stranger to excuses and things that I think I can justify my lack of at taking action with. So what would you say have been, prior to sort of starting and having that accountability of having like a place to go and somebody to just kind of have workouts figured out for you, what were your like top excuses?
My top excuses were not having the energy, not having the time. I mean, they're very dumb excuses because working out gives you that energy that you need to
Mm-hmm.
keep going. As soon as you're there, it's just the the fuel and the like the fire of everyone else's motivation definitely helps, but the energy and the time were a big part of my excuses. And once I started getting past them, I realized that it was just that. It was an excuse.
How are you staying motivated these days? What motivates you to get up and get your workouts and like eat the foods that are good for you while also not, being crazy dieting, like feeling like you're dieting? So what's your
Right.
biggest source of motivation, would you say?
The
You're just
the
having one of those like crap days and you're like, I don't want to go, I don't want to do it, and we're like stuck in here. Like, what is the thing that drives you to do? Because I know one of yours, but I'm gonna let you answer.
the motivation is definitely the people because you might not be in the best mindset to go and work out or anything, but as soon as you get there and as soon as you start talking to the other women, you see that they were struggling with those same motivations, but they all got their rear end out of bed or off the couch or came straight from job. And seeing everyone else, it definitely helps to motivate because you realize that you're not the only one that might be struggling to get there and get your workout in.
Right, right. And you also have a little brother that you're trying
Yes.
to solve for, right?
Yeah, I do. So I definitely want to be a good example for him. I've got nieces and nephews and my brother and everything, and they it, I don't want looking at it, I don't want to have to not live my life. Like if I want to take him to Disneyland or wherever he might want to go, like I want to be able to have that health to be able to do that.
Right.
Seeing other family members going through health problems and stuff that could be preventable because of like taking care of your nutrition and your
Mhm.
exercise, that's something that I don't want that ever to be like have negative health effects because I didn't take care of myself. I want to be a good example. So,
Right. And I know just in talking to you a few times about your brother, and you've already started rubbing off your ways a little bit. So It's good. It's good. It's a domino effect. That's what it's all about for me. Like, even if one person watches this video and is like, I go to the gym today. I wasn't going to, but you know what? Like, I'm inspired to just move my ass and like get some movement in. Like, one more person to me is just the part of the ripple effect. And you know, when your brother's seeing you lead by example, you know, certainly I do this to lead by example for my children too. You just think that we're paving the way for the younger generation to care about their health and their wellness, even if they're not realizing it right now. When sisters like swapping out certain foods for things, eventually those will create better habits for him. So good, kudos to you for doing that. That's really
Thank you.
good.
Thank you.
So switching gears, in terms of Fierce AF, how was that whole experience for you? And you can be totally transparent. If it was like shit, you can be like,
No, it definitely was not shitty. It was not shitty. Fierce AF was an amazing experience, and it was what I needed to get my ass moving. I came in, so I came into Venus, and I'd been like once many years ago just for one class, and I've always wanted to come back, and it really, the timing of it was pivotal. I had a family member pass away, and part of it was from not taking care of their own health. And I realized that it's something that I needed to change my own life. So getting into Fierce AF and learning so much, it was a little overwhelming at first because you have so much knowledge that is provided to you in Fierce AF. And it's all amazing and wonderful stuff that you don't realize you need to know until it's there and you're getting it. And then that information is just like, it is slightly overwhelming, but it's really great. And you get in, and it's like you have all this nutrition information, and then you have your workouts, and then to be like competing with like the other gals there and trying to do your best. And the before photos were a little intimidating because I really didn't want to stand there and, you know, bear so much when I wasn't feeling fit myself. But getting into it, and then afterwards seeing, even after just the first, I think, 3 weeks, and following everything, like, made the big difference. I just, everything you hear from friends, from family, and you don't see the changes yourself, and then they start seeing the changes and point it out to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, these pants fit now, I can button them up, like, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And so what Chris is referring to is we do before photos, which I highly suggest. So anytime you're going to start a journey for yourself and you set a goal, the scale is probably one of the worst markers to use. Only, I know you guys probably, those that follow me know I talk about that all the time. It's just data, right? So it's just numbers. So we do use that as some sort of guideline as to your progress, but it's not like the hard and fast. Because how many pounds did you lose the first round? I can't even remember. It was like 10 or 12 or something like that.
The first one, I think it was about 15.
Okay.
And then,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. So you lost 15 pounds the first round, which is phenomenal. And you lost a bunch of inches. And, you know, part of the process is we want you to see that, because you get on the scale, you see the numbers, and you see yourself every day. It's really hard to start to notice things unless you use like a pair of jeans that maybe didn't fit or something like that. But the photos are done in private, so let's not freak everybody out. They're done
Yes, they are.
private, and they're just literally for your eyes and my eyes. And then at the end, if you desire to share them, we share them. If not, totally cool. We still love you. But you know, and you can attest to seeing pictures of yourself from when you started, and then at the end, you can see exactly where that body fat has come off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. You can see where the body fat has come off, and you can feel if you're a big fan of going out and getting outdoors. Like, I noticed it when I went to go hiking, and my legs weren't shaking up the first hill.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
let's talk about that, like the physical changes that you noticed in yourself. So tell us a little bit more about that. Like, what do you feel like you noticed in terms of just anything in your body, how you were, you know, your strength, anything that you can attribute to having started something and noticing that as a result?
noticing the result and everything, like I said, going hiking and not having your legs shake up the first hill, like
Right.
I wasn't out of breath. I didn't feel like my chest was, or my heart was going to jump out of my chest. It, going and putting on clothes that I had written off as never being able to fit into them again. I think after like the first 4 weeks of Fierce AF, I went through my closet and I basically
Purge.
purged
Yeah.
everything. I threw everything on my bed and I tried on every single pair of pants that I had, and the stuff that was too big, I got rid of. And there was stuff that was too big that had previously been tight. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to fit into that again. Those are gone.
Yeah.
And it's not a diet, it's not a fad, it's a lifestyle transformation, and that is what I needed, and that energy that came with it, and just feeling healthy overall, like carrying groceries in, you don't realize it, but or maybe lugging around like a big, like one of those big jugs of water, like the 5 gallon jug of water, pulling that in the house, going to the pet store and getting a bag of cat litter and not struggling to pick it up and put it in a cart. Just things like that you don't really realize, but they shouldn't be as hard as they are.
Right, right. You don't realize it at the time, and then once you've made the
Mm-hmm.
shift, you're like, "Holy cow! This 30-pound bag of cat food used to be really hard to carry, and now I'm like
Exactly.
hoisting it over one shoulder, no two trips.
Exactly.
I've got grocery bags in this hand. Like you're just making it happen." So,
Exactly.
as much as I know it's super fun and super sexy for people to be like thrilled to start something because they want to look better. Ultimately, like even as I get older, I know personally for myself, the mission is yes, I want you to look fierce AF, but I also want you to feel strong AF, like
Mm-hmm.
for your everyday life stuff. Because, on the
Yeah.
exterior, it's great if you look good, but if you can't make it up a flight of stairs or you can't carry your groceries in, like what good does that serve you? Just some good health.
Exactly.
I mean, really, that's the end. That's it at the end of the day. So what was the most fun for you out of the process? Because I know personally, like for myself, which is probably hard to believe, I'm an introvert. So getting into a new crowd of like new people and like, ooh, strangers, like this can be overwhelming for people.
um
Totally, right? Like, are they going to be nice? Are they going to be catty? Like, weird? Am I going to be the only out of shape person? Like, all these things that are going through most women's heads. I totally know because I have been.
mm-hmm.
So what was the most fun in terms of your experience with the process?
The most fun was actually reestablishing my independence and the I guess the group of people. You know you wouldn't think that working out would be fun, but getting to the studio every day, getting to the studio every day and laughing through some of the stuff that we have to do, the squats or the wall sits, and just naming things off to get us through those exercises. I mean, it's the women, it's the people, and it's everything, the community that makes it so fun.
Yeah, it
I
does.
think I might have strayed a little
No, 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 not at all. I
bit.
mean, community is huge because there's a sense of accountability there, right? Like, your friends are going
Yeah,
to be like, where have you been when you don't come to class? Or like, we haven't seen you. And,
exactly.
when you disappear, I know we have one goddess. I'm going to be interviewing her in a couple days. Not going to mention names, but I know there was a time when she would come in the studio and everybody being like, what, you're not staying for 2 classes. And they would kind of like razz her a little bit. And she felt really bad about that. And I said, girlfriend, that's because they like you. Like, that's good. Like, that is what you want. You want
Exactly.
that. You don't want to just, like our biggest thing is like the Cheers of fitness. Like when Cheers, where everybody knows your name. I don't know if you remember that show. It's like back in my time, but it's an old show on TV, and it's like a bar, and like you walk in, and they like everybody knows your name, and that's like really the mission at Venus, is that you feel part of the tribe, part of the community. Everybody knows who you are because you count and you matter. So I'm glad that you felt that as well. So on the flip side, what do you feel was like the hardest part in the process for yourself personally, whether it was like a part of the program that was challenging for you or something that you personally struggled with, or maybe you still do, that you're still working out. What is that for you?
Well, there are two things really that are the hardest part. First off, the hardest part is injury. If you are hurt or if you've had an injury and you still want to work out and you still want to do it, it sucks having to put those restrictions on yourself and not want to go all out. Thankfully, the coaches are all amazing and they'll work around those injuries and they'll show you how to do exercises properly so that you don't injure yourself more or to avoid that injury. And that's one of the really hard parts for me personally. And the second hard part is going up in weight. So having the self-confidence to say, yes, I can pick up the bigger kettlebell, or trying to push yourself farther than you think you can go. And again, that goes back to the coaches and them knowing and them saying, okay, I see your muscles flexing. I know where you can go up another weight, and handing you that heavier kettlebell. So.
Yes, we totally love doing that, because the end of the day, if you were at the gym by yourself, the likelihood, right, of us actually pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone is a lot less than if we have somebody else who's accountable to our results that says, no, Krista, I know you can grab those 15 pounds.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
And then it happens and they give you that heavier one and then you handle it like a boss and you're like, oh yeah, I can do this. This is great.
Exactly. And actually, perfect timing. We had somebody pop in with not a question, but kind of a comment. And I would like to know, I have my thoughts, but I would love to hear what you think. So Candy says, I feel like I've got to lose 50 pounds before I even start this. So what
definitely
I have so much to say about that, but I'm going to let you give me your 2 cents on
that. With Venus, it's so great. And I've actually encouraged a lot of friends to come here too. There's no better place to start than now, really. No better time than now, better place than Venus. You don't have to lose the weight to start first. If I would have just kept doing what I was doing at home on my own, I can't even think about how long it would have taken to lose the weight that I did.
Right.
You'll lose that weight faster by the knowledge that's provided in Fierce AF. And there are women of all shapes and sizes. And that's one of the other things about the community is we all have different things going on with our body, and everything that you provide helps each individual person. The weekly coaching, checking when you check in on our food logs to see what we're putting in there, it's not just a generic response. You tell us, okay, well, hey, you know what? I remember very distinctly, I think it was like the first or second week, and you called a gal out on a food that she kept putting on her plate. I think it was like,
I said it loving.
I won't name her because she's one of my good friends now. But it was the Kraft cheese, those little single cheese packets that she was putting on top of everything. And you called her out. And a lot of us don't realize that little things that we're doing might offset all of the weight we want to lose or what it might be.
Yeah.
But it's not just the one person. I mean, you're paying attention and you're interacting with everyone. It's not just sign up and then we don't see you again. That's one of the things that I love about it. I mean, we know each other now. We're friends. So.
Yeah. No, exactly. And to go back to that point, that's probably one of the most common things that I hear is often people will private message me and they'll say, hey, I really want to start, but I'm too out of shape to start. And it's, not to be silly, but it's like, if you had crooked teeth and you wanted to get them fixed, you would go to the dentist, right? So,
exactly.
And I know that sounds really like cheesy, but if you are wanting to lose weight, you got to go to, you got to be trust in the process with somebody who has taken women through the journey. And we've had women you know, in 300 pounds. I mean, we have women now currently who haven't worked out in years and have stepped a foot through the studio. And that's the beauty of it, is that granted, it's a group training style of class, but you know, like sometimes we have girls that have knee injuries or ankle injuries, or they
Mm-hmm.
cannot squat or they cannot lunge. And we are working with them off to the side, getting them
Exactly.
speed. And I never want somebody to feel excluded from fitness in general, because if you're walking through the doors of a gym and you're 250 plus pounds, you're 300 plus pounds, high F and five to you, because that shows that you are willing to put in the work and take care of yourself, and everyone else can go screw themselves as far as I'm concerned. I never make fun of newbies in the gym. But and the same thing goes through, you know, for Venus. Like, you will never find, if I ever hear that anybody is making fun of somebody else because of anything, like Mama D will come out and like, you know, and thankfully that's never been the case. Everybody's played nice on the playground and has been incredibly supportive. And you know, we love women of all ages, shapes, sizes, curves, no curves, all of it. So, you know, I think I posted earlier today about, you know, even like in terms of age, because I have some women that are like, I'm too old to do that. And then I don't know, you know, Amy. Well, yeah. So, you know,
Yeah.
Amy's 63. Like, she's doing camp. She's kicking ass. Like, it's fabulous. So never feel like you can't start something because you're not ready. Because you have to come from a place of, I am ready now, and like it just needs to happen. You're not getting any younger. Time
Exactly.
is passing. You just have to seize the day. So, off my
Yes.
soapbox. Okay, so we got that, and then let's see. So, what did family and friends kind of say to you? Like, I know there was some tension, because sometimes friends aren't exactly the best support system, right? So, depending on who your circle is, they can be incredibly supportive or not so much. And sometimes the not so much comes from their own insecurities and the things that they aren't ready
Right.
to do for themselves, and then that's reflected on their experience, and seeing you go through your experience. So what was your experience with that?
Mine was, thankfully, I do have a lot of very supportive friends who encourage me and don't say, let's go out to eat. I mean, you learn how you can get
Yeah.
around some of the eating out options, but I've had a lot of people who are very supportive, and they have congratulated me, and they've said they've noticed a difference in my confidence and everything since I started. And it's been very rewarding. A lot of people have asked me what I'm doing, and they want to come too, which is great, because I'll bring a friend to boot camp here and there. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, you asked me about it. Now, why aren't you signing up? So now it's their turn to sign up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. It's important. You know, there is this saying that you are a direct reflection of the five closest people that you surround yourself with. And so sometimes you have to take a step back, and your circle can either sabotage you or they can lift you up. And so my hope for every woman is that they have a circle, a strong accountability tribe, or people that support them. And if you don't and you come through Venus, trust me, you'll get like a gang of them, like a gang of support,
Yes, yes.
gang of new sisters that have your back, and you know, they will love to be your new accountability partners and hang out with you and do things that are more conducive. Yes.
I will be doing this next round of Fierce AF. And if you need someone to hold you accountable, I will totally be that person.
Good. I know you're really great at that. You're like the community cheerleader, the go-getter. That's awesome. That's so awesome. So, last but not least, and then I'll let you go because I know you have a cat that needs some attention over there.
She got off.
Did she? Okay. Yes. So, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I just got a phone call, and I'm like, go away, go away.
I know. I did too. So we're good. We're rocking episode 1 of GTV. Let me tell you.
Woo woo.
Okay. So this wasn't like super plug for Venus, but if somebody were to ask you about signing up for Fierce AF, what would you tell them about getting off the fence and like doing the damn thing? DT DT. That's the hashtag.
Just just do it. life life is short. You can't take anything for granted. You
Right.
never know what's going to happen, and if you want to change your lifestyle, if you want to have that opportunity to go out and do things you've never done before or whatever it might be, just do it. Be healthy, live, change your life. It is life changing. So just, oh
Oh,
gosh. Hi.
so
Uh-oh.
life
I
changing. Your
totally
phone
hit.
fell.
It did. It did. I know I'm trying to sit far enough back so that like the light is on me. Anyways, just do it. I mean, Venus, the Fierce AF is it was life changing for me, and I want it to be life changing for other people. It you learn too much to not take that opportunity. So
Great. I love it. Thank you so much, Krista. This was so much fun. It was
you're
awesome.
welcome. Sorry,
We
I was
did
off to a
it.
little rough start
This,
here.
that's okay. That's okay. That was so much fun. So I just want to thank you and acknowledge you for all your hard work. We know we just brought
Thank
you
you.
on as an ambassador, and you're doing phenomenal, inspiring women
Thank you.
every single day. I see you. I see what you've done, and I'm incredibly proud of you. And that's why I wanted to
Thank you
highlight
so much.
as our first GTV interviewee.
Hey, I'm so
So
excited.
I know that was super fun. And yeah, that is it. We did it. And if any of you watching have any questions, not just about Fierce AF, like in fitness in general, I love sharing. Like, this brain is full of things. And I love to share and give tips and help with anything. If you're stuck with something, hit me up. My inbox and my messenger is an open door. Feel free to pop in if you don't want to post here in the comments below. And let's change your life. How's that sound?
Yay, sounds awesome. Let's do it. Join me.
Okay.
Join us.
Well, we had so much fun. What's that?
Oh, I said join me. Join us. I'm really excited.
Exactly.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Have a great day.
Bye.